Hello, good people of Ireland in the English tongue, Irlande in the French tongue. I'm sure you are all aware of what you have sitting in front of you here. The Proclamation of Ireland, and on it you have the four provinces up here, down here, and over here. And on it says, Public Nahern, the provisional government of the Irish Republic, to the people of Ireland, Irish men and Irish women, and you know the rest. And it was signed by these people, and it was read out on the 24th of April 1916 on the GPO steps. And they raised the national flag, which is a tricolour, green, white and orange, for 3 consecutive days above the GPO, and therefore it became the national flag. All other flags, the Irish Republic one and all that, were all captured by the British. So, you may ask why I'm doing this. Well, this may take a wee while, so bear with me and be patient. This particular outfit here is why I'm doing this. The IRB, the Sovereign Constitution. This is Billy Maguire's and Declan Flanagan, John Declan Flanagan, and John Caulfield and Dolores Cahill and Howard Hughes and a few others. We all know the culprits, you know. And as you can see here in ASL, which is that, okay, that's ASL, okay, it's DBS Latin, it's a sign language, okay, it's American Sign Language, okay, grammatical deception, alright, and that's what you get at the top here. The Constitution of the Republic of Ireland, IRB, Vaughan's Hotel, right? Now, we didn't declare the Republic of Ireland. The Republic of Ireland is an act of the Crown which came in 1948 and 49 called the Republic of Ireland Act. As you can see, we declared the Irish Republic. Okay? And later we went on to the Democratic Programme, which also declares the Irish Republic and was read out in the Mansion House on the 21st of January 1919, after the Declaration of Independence and the message to all free nations in the world. And it states Irish Republic in that. So you can pause that and read through it, okay? And move on. So again, we're back to this, the Constitution of the Republic of Ireland. I would like to know where that's at. Okay? Because it's in none of the constitutions. None of them. Not the 1919, not the 1922 Irish Free State. It's not in the draft Bunracht. It's not in the Rule of Law and Bunracht, 1937. It's not in the 1942 Constitution. It's not in the 1972 Constitution. Nor is it in the latest 1999 Good Friday Agreement Constitution. The Republic of Ireland, nor is Northern Ireland. The name of the state's ERA. Okay? So, just bear with me and we'll move on. So what we have here is a letter, a return letter, with a reference number on it from the Office of the Attorney General, Office of the Director General of this island, of the state, okay, on the 28th day of August 2023, to a Mr. John Flanagan, the Mermaid House, Liscannor, County Clare, Air Code V95DKF7, for the attention of John Flanagan, aka John Declan. Dear Sir, I refer to your letter dated on the 31st of July last with enclosure. Regarding the 1919 Constitution of Dáil Éireann, it was repealed when the Constitution of the Irish Free State came into force on the 6th of December 1922. The 1922, in turn, was repealed by Article 48 of the 1937 Constitution. The 1937 Constitution was approved by plebiscite of the Irish people held on the 1st of July 1937. Thus, the 1919 Constitution, to which you refer, which would be this, okay, to which you refer, does not have any legal effect. It is concerning that you hold yourself out as a person authorised to issue licences to judges. The judges of the state are appointed by the President, and this function is performed only on the advice of the government, as was held in Beads versus Ireland 2016 to I.R.224 at paragraph 49. This decision is non-justifiable. Furthermore, kindly note that attempting to usurp the government's position constitutes an offence. Yours faithfully, AGO, Office of Attorney General. Now, this is what these rogue, diabolic entities are claiming as the 1919 Constitution. And it goes as follows. Okay? Alright? Bear with me, because this is all relevant, okay? Okay? Now, there's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and it goes up to Article 10, 20, 30, 36, if I'm correct, or something like that. Right? And I'm going to take you through this here, because this is very disturbing. Okay? This is one of the highest offices in the legal field and the lawful field, is the Attorney General. Okay? And first of all, it's an official letter because there's a reference on it. And it's GL/2023/02755. And with this bit here, straight away, the Attorney General's office is taking a dig at John Declan. And then they call him Dear Sir. Okay? Regarding the 1919 Constitution of Dáil Éireann, which is that there. Okay, people, that's it. Alright? That is the original 1919 Dáil Éireann. It's an official record. It's an official record. Okay? And there's all what happened. There it is there, opening session 1919. Alright? And 21st of January 1919. First day's proceedings was public. The opening session on the 22nd, right? So we'll go on to the next page. Okay? And you'll see there. Right? So this is the point of order on the 21st, the first day of the new provisional government of Ireland. Okay? Clerks, roll call, Constitution of Dáil, Declaration of Independence, delegates to the Peace Conference, message to the Free Nations, democratic programme, standing orders and adjournment. And there it is there, people. And it's written only in one text. One text only. Clogilloch, the first day, the opening minutes there. As you can see up there, 21st of January 1919, 3:30 in the Mansion House, Ballyaclee. Alright, in Dublin. And that's point 1, Councoilla, right? There it is, point 2, right? There's the people that were in attendance. Okay? Now, Shankill, Ormeau, Falls, right? Victoria, right? They're from everywhere, all over the country. Alright? Full 32 counties. Look. Still in Clogilloch, not translated into English. And then you have Bunrock Dáil Éireann. There it is, people. Look, Bunrock Dáil Éireann. Right? Article 1, Article 2, Article 3, Article 4, Article 5, Article 6. Okay? The Dáil, right? Look. Yeah? And continues. There's the Declaration of Independence. Right? There's the Declaration of Independence. Where it talks about 1916. Okay? And the Irish Republic being declared. Alright, look. And then it talks about 1918. The All-Ireland election with Sinn Féin won by a landslide. Okay? That's the Declaration of Independence. Then it goes under there. And then the next language is Declaration d'Indépendance. La République Irlandaise. That's French. Dublin, 1916. That's the Irish Republic. The French tipped their hat to us. Okay? And then it's in English. Declaration of Independence. This is asking why I'm sharing this all with you, right? There's still Clogilloch, right? And then you have the Declaration, that's only English, right? Then you have more Clogilloch, right? And it gets up to 7, right? Up here. Which is appeal to our nations, free nations, right? There it is there. The message to the free nations of the world. That's it there in Clogilloch. Okay? Yeah? And that's it there in French, and then it's in English. Alright? Now, everything I'm going to after showing you there is not translated into English. It's not. There's 1916 again, you see? 1919. Look. Right? It is not translated into English. Until now. Okay? Until now. So There it is, people. Look. Right? And it's not what John Declan and all are saying, with all the Roman numerals in it, written in English, and the Republic of Ireland, the Constitution of the Republic of Ireland. We are the Irish Republic. The name of the state's ERA. Okay? Ireland in the English language, Irlandais in the French language, Irlanda in the Spanish language. And as I said, where we're at now with the... So we're back to this. Okay? I want to take you through it. So regarding the 1919, you're only after seeing it there, the original one, which was repealed when the Constitution of the Irish Free State, which is that one there. Okay? That one there. As you can see. Alright? There's articles of it. Look. Okay? You see? And Article 11, there's a 99-year land lease, which ended there on the 6th of December 2022. Okay? Hence, the Windsor Framework. It's a continuation of the Anglo-Irish Treaty 1921-1922. Okay? So now you know that, and then there is the minutes of the treaty. There it is there. The minutes of the treaty. Iris Dollar Earn. Official report. Debate treaty between Great Britain and Ireland. Okay? Signed on the 6th of December 1921. Alright? And that's the official. December 1921 to January 1922. Okay? An official book. And that was on the treaty. And that brought in that there. Alright? That brought in that. Okay? Then, on if you go to Article 49, and even the Constitution of Ireland, even the Blue Book, it'll tell you this. 1922 Constitution lasted up until the 11th of December 1936, when King Edward VIII abdicated. And when King Edward abdicated, meaning he left the throne, he took his constitution with him, with the oath to the king, Article 17. Alright? He took that oath and that there all with him. And as in pursuant to that, there, Eamon de Valera seized that moment where summons their children to tradition and strikes for her freedom. So Eamon de Valera struck for her freedom and brought in Article 49 of the Constitution, written in the first national official principal text, which is here, An Bunreachta. Okay? That is. So the king abdicated all powers, functions and rights and perspectives whatsoever exercisable in or in respect to Searstad Éireann immediately before the 11th day of December 1936, whether in virtue of the Constitution then in force or otherwise by the authority which the executive power of Searstad Éireann was then vested hereby declared to belong to the people. Us. Okay? And you'll hear I read out Article 48, because that's the repeal of this Constitution in the 1937. Okay? As the Attorney General states, alright? The Constitution of Sierstad Erne, in force immediately prior to the date of coming into operation of this Constitution, and the Constitution of the Irish Free State, Sierstad Erne Act 1922, in so far as that act or any provision thereof in force shall be and are hereby repealed as on the and from that date. Okay, so that was repealed, alright? And then, as the Attorney General clearly states, that was 48, I'm only after reading out to you where it was repealed, of the 1937. The 1937 was approved by plebiscite of the Irish people on the 1st of July. That was what they agreed on. Draft been wrapped, okay? Right? Written in the first national official principal text and language. And then in brackets, which removes that off the page. There, like that. Okay? Right? As approved by Dáil Éireann on the 1st of July 1937. Okay? And there is the preamble. Okay? And there it is there in the first national official principal text. The preamble. Alright? And from that was when we adopted the National Constitution of Éire. This is when the people finally got independence. Okay? When they gave themselves a written constitution. And that's the written constitution there. Read the front page of it. Bunrock na Hern. And you remove that off it there. Because that's the only text that's on it. That's ASL. So you remove that. That's only text. There's no harp on it. That's only... Look. Enacted by the people on the 1st of July 1937. There. In operation from the 29th of December 1937. And there's all the printing office there. Written in the first text first, and then in all caps, removing it off the page. Dublin removing it. So the only text on that page is the first national official principal text. So, this was taken from an official government book. Okay? This is the part that you want to read here. Okay? And this here concerns the 1922 Constitution, the 1919 Constitution, the 1918 and 1916. The influence of politics on the language of the 1937 being very much Eamon Dáil Éireann Fianna Fáil's constitution against the pro-treaty with the oath to the king, 1922 Constitution must be borne in mind. We shall see below as regards both script and orthography. Both script and orthography. Being that. Script and orthography. How it's written and the script. Okay, which is Clú Gaelic. Irish font. Okay? There was a deliberate return to the pre-1922 period, and this appears in some cases to be paralleled with the language itself. Yes. Why? Because of this here was written in Clú Gaelic, the 1919. The same as the draft constitution. Same text. Look, same text. Same text. On the constitution, look, same text. So it brought back in the 1919. Now I tried telling John Flanagan and all this, but nobody would listen, you see. So, paralleled with the language itself, Seamus Dalton, right, this here's whatever. Note, incidentally, that articles which comprise the Constitution of Dáil Éireann 1919 are given in Irish alone in the minutes of proceedings of the first session, 21st of January 1919. people. That's that book there. Right? And it's not telling you any lies there. Okay? It's not telling you any lies. It was given in Clogh Gaelic alone. Okay? Clogh Gaelic alone. Look. Bunrock Dollar Earn. Okay? So it's not telling you any lies. So in a matter of fact, the 1937, okay, is the written constitution of the people. From 1916, 1918, 1919, 1st of July 1937, and finally brought into the full force of law and remains as the Attorney General of the state has clarified and remains the full force of law as justice should be administered in the whole of this territory. Okay? And concerning that you hold yourself a person authorised to issue licences to judges and judges of the state that are appointed. Right, so there's the first point where it mentioned licences. Okay? And John Flanagan denies that he issues licences, says the IRB issues licences. But John, you are the chairman of the IRB, so therefore you sign that off. Okay? This phony IRB. So it would be up to you to sign it off as the chairman. Okay, so now we go on to page 2. Okay, and as you see up here, John and all have used to harp with the official orthography, right? The official orthography, and used that era there, okay? Which the state, that's very important. A sovereign territory, a sovereign government, a sovereign state, whatever, is only authorised to issue their own coinage. Alright? Era. Not the Republic of Ireland, not Ireland, nothing else. Era. Written as pursuant to the Constitution and Article 4 of the Constitution. And there it is there. Do you see it, people? Era. Now this is the only constitution that it's written this road. The rest are written with a capital E and a fada. Okay, from 1942 onwards. But the coinage is still issued in it. Okay? And even with a passport, there's the look, right? I know that there, right? But it's incorporated this year. But it's the European Union written in upper and lower, right? And I'll tell you, look at that. There's the most important document a state can issue is a passport. And there is the territory, island and seas and islands of Era. Very detailed. There's no border on it up there. It's the full 32 counties. It's a sovereign territory, sovereign nation, sovereign state. Okay? And there you go. As I say, it's made up of 4 provinces. Yeah? And you'll have Irish, English and French. Lo and behold again. French. And when you look at this, okay, when you look at that, the first national text, and then it says Earnack, Irish, M or F, male or female, male. And look, we Gold Island. Look at that. Would you credit that? We Gold Island. What's Gold's sovereign? Okay. Move along. Now, we'll get this next bit done here now. So we will, if you bear with me. So, I just want to point out some discrepancies in this here. So in this first one, they write Rossa Fanning, living man. Okay, they've era up here. I done this in because that's the way it's supposed to be written there. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to be written there. Not like that. Like that. Like it was in the coins. Okay, like it was in the coins. Alright. Now, I want to take you down through this here. Because this here was John Flanagan's response to the Attorney General. He couldn't wait, and he made a lot of mistakes here. So Ross Fanning, living man. You don't have to tell anybody you're living. It says in the Bible, God made man, God made woman, male and female. You know what I mean? You're living. If you're a person, you're a fiction. But if you're a man, you're living. So you know what I mean? Acting Attorney General. Acting Attorney General. Very, very interesting now. Acting Attorney General. Why do you not write to the Attorney General? Why do you write to the Acting Attorney General, Office of Attorney General, North Block Government Buildings, Upper Mern Street, Dublin, to spelt like that, but yet he uses that there in the seal, right? And he calls it the, what is it? Republic of Ireland. The Constitution of the Republic of Ireland. Right? So there's a lot of things in here. So the living man, well, that's private and that's public. So when he's in his private, he's not under any obligation. But when he's in public, he's under obligation. Okay? And then it says here, notice to principle. And you'll see there that I have underlined that notice to principle. I've underlined it twice, because that's the proper way to spell it. Principal. It's like the principal of a school. So you're writing to the CEO. Notice to principal, notice to agent, notice to agents, notice to principal. But if you go on to the next one, which was written on the same day, principal is spelt Principle. Now, I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, but look up the difference between, define those two words. Principal with a PL or LE and principal PAL. They're two completely different meanings. Completely different. Right? Next thing. So John wants to point out inaccuracies and misconceptions in your letter. I address as follows. So John's pointing out now to the Attorney General, okay? And I'm only after showing you the official documents, alright? He says, I do not hold myself as a person authorised to issue licences to judges. The Irish Republican Brotherhood, IRB, hold the authority to issue sovereign licences in ERA. But what about this ERA up here, John? What about that one up there? You know what I mean? What about this one? Why that one? You know what I mean? Why change your text? The 1919 Constitution of the Dáil Éireann, which I'm only after showing you there. And by the way, people, you see this here? I read this out to you. That's actually, somebody translated the opening minutes of the Dáil Éireann for me. An official translator, okay? So you'll see it there, look. It's all, right? Narrative of independence and all that, okay? So all that Clogh Gaelic in that green book, the first 18 pages, I've had it translated because it was never ever translated, okay? The 1919 Constitution of Dáil Éireann is not subject of our letter. Well, it is now, okay? Because that's what you're basing all your jurisdiction upon. The Constitution of the Republic of Ireland. Now, where do you hear this, people? This is very funny. The Constitution of the Republic of Ireland, proclaimed in arms on Easter Monday, April 24th, 1916. Are you referring to that there? It says the Irish Republic and the people of Ireland, and it's a provisional government. It doesn't say, and it's a proclamation. That was the first step to independence, people. It is not a constitution. It is not a written constitution, as John is stipulating here. And anybody to look at that there now should be laughing at that. Proclaimed, right? And established by the will of the people of Ireland. No, by the will of the people of ERA on the 21st of January 1919. Not Ireland, ERA. You're from ERA, John. Not Ireland. It's Ireland in the English tongue. Remains lawfully extant. It does, because it's brought in, the spirit of it is brought in with the 1937 Constitution, as I read out there with that there. You know what I mean? first session, right, this year. Notably, the 5 articles comprised of the Constitution of Dáil Éireann 1919. It says 5 articles here, but as you've seen, there were 6, are given in Irish alone in the minutes of the proceeding. You know what I mean? So, you had the Constitution of the Republic of Ireland, right, proclaimed, which is, he's saying, is the proclamation, all right? And then the Declaration of 1919, all right, remains lawfully extant. And the judges sitting to hear matters under this Constitution must hold a sovereign licence. So if they must hold a sovereign licence, who issues them licence? You say the IRB issues them, which you are claiming to be the Minister of a Sovereign Dáil Éireann, and the Chairman, John Flanagan, is down here at the bottom. The Minister of the Sovereign Dáil Éireann, which is the Mansion House. It's a museum now, probably, you know what I mean? Look, and error again. Fundamental, like, why use error up here with your stamps and contradict yourself and spell it in different ways? To appease your usurpers or what? You know what I mean? Legal precedent is no such effect against the inalienable and sovereign rights of the lawful position of the living men and women of Eire. Well, it doesn't say living men and women of Eire on that. It says Irish men and Irish women. Up there. Irish men and Irish women. Okay? Not living men and all that there, alright? So, we'll move on here now. So, sovereign and living men of Ireland. You know what I mean? It's Eire. Okay? Whilst IRB may agree that the authentic, yes, the one that we showed you, John, the authentic, that's it there, 1937 could hold certain protective provisions. Yes, Articles 40 to 44 and the preamble, Articles 1 and Article 6. You know what I mean? And Articles 15.4, any act that is repugnant to this Constitution should be deemed null and void. Right? So, whilst IRB agreed the authentic 1937 Constitution Amber Act could hold certain protective provisions for a private person, well, that's who you want to be, private sovereign. As defined, we are not the author of this writ. No, it's not a writ, it is a constitution. It is the fundamental law of the land. You need to get things right here, John. And we, therefore, hold no authority to speak for the veracity of any of its articles. Well, no, you don't, because you seem that you don't really have an understanding of who, what, and where you are. You know what I mean? And how history moved on and how we actually achieved independence. It started in 1916, or actually before it, and actually ended on the 29th of December 1937 when we finally given ourselves a written constitution. Claim of an approval of this constitution by plebiscite is also noted by the IRB. Why, did you want them to go and ask the king who had abdicated for permission? That's why we had a plebiscite, okay? You know what I mean? We were only establishing a government. So you would need to have a plebiscite first. After you establish a government, it would turn into a referendum. That's how it works. In the event of the 1937 Constitution does not and cannot usurp the 1919 Sovereign Constitution. That is complete and absolute fabricated lies. I can prove it beyond doubt here, people. Prove it beyond doubt. It actually says it in here, in the thing. I'll read it out in a minute. We have a lot to go through here. Okay? Given the complication and the disqualification of the Government of Ireland Act 1920 and the Anglo-Irish Treaty 1921, my question is, when were they disqualified? Well, the Government of Ireland Act was disqualified, wait for it, during the 1998 and 99 Good Friday Agreement. They removed the Government of Ireland. The Anglo-Irish Treaty ran out on the 6th of December 2022. Hence why they're talking about the Windsor Framework, the Windsor Treaty. Hence why Rishi Sunak and the head of the European Union were sitting round the treaty table and brought it to the King of England, King Charles III, for royal assent. Where was the Taoiseach? Where was the Taoiseach? Where was the Minister for Trade and Foreign Affairs? Where was the Home Affairs Minister? Where was Michelle O'Neill? Where was Arlene Foster? Where was Naomi Long? Where was the Secretary of State for Britain? Where was all that there? No, none of them there were present while they discussed terms and conditions for the next 99 years of how we should be governed. Two foreign usurpation governments and poor odious governments dictating how a sovereign nation should be ruled. Right, John? So, you've got a lot of stuff wrong here, John. A lot of stuff wrong. Okay? And then he forgot to finish off, so he decided to send him another one and spelt principle with PLE. Okay, so look up the definition of that there. Further to the recent disqualification of the both Government of Ireland Act 1920 and the Anglo-Irish Treaty 1921, and the furtherance of the duties of the ministers authorised of the sovereign Dáil Éireann. It was called Irish Dáil Éireann, okay? As approved and called for under the IRB executive orders. So this must have been called for under the executive orders on, wait for it, the 22nd of the 8th, 2022. So these people, the first constitution had 5 or 6 articles, and they have added 30 articles to it, people. Look, with whose jurisdiction authority, well, who are they speaking for? They're not speaking for me, so they're not. So what, are they playing games here? What's the story? So the sovereign Dáil is provided under, right, and 4291, I enclose for the record certificate a true copy of yours, John. It's not the 1919 sovereign constitution. It's not. Okay? You give them that. You give them that there. Right? You're living in Narnia, people. Wake up, Dorothy. You're not in Kansas anymore. Smell the coffee, lad. Smell the coffee. That's the 1919 there. Okay? Alright? It says it in it, like, people. Come on, lad. Official. Record. 1919-1921. Minutes of proceedings. The first Parliament of the Republic of Ireland. 1980. Right? Come on, like, people. So, and then we'll have it here. The sovereign claimants in ERA may rely on our 1919 sovereign constitution, but it has no legal effect. It has no legal effect. It has no jurisdiction. It was repealed, John. In the matters that may come before sovereign Dáil Éireann courts. Well, where are these courts, John? Are you making them up in a barn or in a hotel or something somewhere? What are you at, like? Come on, like. For a hearing, as will be necessary from time to time, given the recent developments of the 4 courts in the CJ in Dublin. Well, what were them recent developments? Any judge sitting for a hearing in the sovereign Dáil Éireann courts in the 4 courts in Dublin must hold a valid and current sovereign licence. There we go. Now, this man's mentioned licence 5 times there. The Attorney General mentioned it once and he's mentioned it 5 times. Which can be obtained on request in writing to the IRB Supreme Council. Well, you're the chairman and the Minister of the Sovereign Dáil Éireann. You're the chairman of that Supreme Council. So you issuing licences here, John. A licence is a registration. Sovereign people don't register. Okay? Sovereign people don't register, John. I trust the above and is in order. John D. Flanagan. Sovereign people don't use their second name either. Okay? You use your Christ name. That's a surname. Okay? That's a surname. Sir. That's why he called you sir. That's why he called you sir. In the letter there. That's why he called you it. Where is it at? He called you sir somewhere. There. It is there. That's why he called you sir. Because you used that name. Flanagan. Mr. John Flanagan. You used Flanagan. Signed your name Flanagan. John D. Flanagan. So he called you sir. Okay? Now. Hi. I'm going to go on to this here now. Because this here is, which a very good Irish patriot who translates officially for state and things like that there, Irish and Old Gaelic script, okay? So this is his methodology, okay? You can pause that. And there's all the people who were in the minutes, okay? Right? I have not translated the cover. The names of the people may still need clarification due to my lack of knowledge of the players. But constitute place names, couldn't get that word out, people, should hold good. In the first and final columns of the list, attendees, the county and the reason for absence. So you'll have people here in the north, in Derry, in Donegal, in Fermanagh, Tyrone, you know, we're all there. So that there was in 1919, this year. That's the Clú Gaelic that I'm getting. I'm going to get it here to tell you now, okay? So, as you can see, there's all the people who were present. I'll leave that there and you can pause it or whatever. Sorry with that, people. Trying to do my best here for you people. Look. As you can see. So then it goes in here now and we start off there at the bottom and it says, Head of Council. You notice that many of the people named are not here. They received an invitation to be present so that the English could be expelled, and they did not accept that invitation. As Wolfe Tone said, if there are people in Ireland who do not want to work for the good of Ireland, then it must be done without them. And it will be done. There were many others whose names were read and the answers came back, and that they are imprisoned in English by the English. You know that the English have taken them and put them in prison without making any charge against them. And the heroes responsible for this, they are the ones who proclaimed before the world that it was they who were the friends of the small nations, and it was in prison in England that the bravest and most courageous woman born in any country to be found, i.e. Countess Markievicz. I will now read for you, okay? I'm going to get point 4 in this book and show you where they are talking about. I will now read for you point 4, which is Bunracht Dollar Earn. And this is it all going to be translated here, okay? So what that translates into, Bunracht Dollar Earn. Basic rules for the Convention of Ireland. The first article. Dáil Éireann will have full power to make laws, and convention will consist of spokespersons elected by the people of Ireland in the constituencies that exist in Ireland at present. The second article. 1. Those who have ministerial function for a term, Act, will have full executive power during that term. 2. The Cabinet will consist of the First Minister elected by Dáil Éireann and 4 other ministers, i.e. Minister for Finance, Home Affairs, Foreign Affairs, Defence. The First Minister will nominate the 4 other ministers and will have the power to remove their executive power. 3. It is a requirement for the minister to be a taka dola, elected representatives, and he will always be answerable to the Dáil Convention, in brackets. 4. The names of the ministers must be put before the convention for ratification at its first meeting after they have been nominated by the First Minister. 5. The First Minister will function as such as soon as he or she is elected, and the other ministers will also function as such as soon as the convention ratifies their nominations. 6. The Dáil can remove a ministry, or any one of the ministers from the functions by a majority of votes if notice of motion in writing is given to the effect of 7 days beforehand. The third article, Cén Comhairle, Speaker, elected by the Dáil for 1 year, or Cén Fhíor, Deputy Speaker, elected for 1 year if Cén Comhairle is not in attendance, will be in charge of each meeting of the Dáil. These positions can only be filled by elected representatives to the convention. If Cén Comhairle and Cén Fhíor are absent, the Dáil will authorise substitutes or will elect a temporary provisional Cén Comhairle. The fourth article, the ministers will get money she needs as a result of a vote in the Dáil. The minister will be answerable to the Dáil for the money she receives in this way, and she will present audited detailed accounts of how the money be spent before the Dáil twice a year in November and May. An auditor or auditors elected by the Dáil will be responsible for examining the details of the accounts. No member of the convention, TD, may be elected as an auditor. The fifth article. This provisional constitution, and it can be altered if a notice of a motion in writing is given to that effect 7 days beforehand. This is a provisional constitution, and it can be altered if notice of a motion in writing is given to effect 7 days beforehand. Head of Council, which would be Cén Comhairle. It is necessary for us to have 2 members to put these articles before the Dáil formally. I can call the representatives from the College Green, Dublin, Sean T. O'Callaghan, to be present to present the proposal. Sean T. O'Callaghan. And Comhairle and representatives, I present these articles for your consideration. You know that this is a provisional constitution. You have all read it. All it contains is what is necessary for the moment. In the future, no doubt, we will have to add to it and include many items which relate to our work for Ireland. The final blow in the fight to establish a free state is being dealt, and we must create a constitution such as this to institute a just administration. Some people will say perhaps that there are omissions in the constitution. We are aware of that, but there is an admission in the 5th article. This is but temporary measure. This is but a temporary measure, and that any representative can, from time to time, make proposal to make changes or improvements as necessary. Everyone understands that there will be 5 ministers, a Premier Minister, and 4 others who will have the duty to carry out the work and put the matter which relates to their own area of responsibilities before the Dáil and take full responsibility for all that relates into the duty of care. It is a source of regret to us that so many of our friends are removed from us here today, but it is not we who are to blame, but the enemy. We would like to have here and help and advice of all those friends, but must continue to establish the Free State of Ireland to administrate the land as best we can. I propose this constitution, and I am confident that you will give your consent as a provisional statute, temporary law, right? Temporary law. And I pray that I pray to God that we are founding a Free State of Ireland that will last forever. Sean Hayes, the representative for West Cork, I am pleased to support the proposal which we have before, and through the representatives of College Green. You have all read it, and I hope that you all agree to it. Head of Council, do you concur in agreement to this constitution? We concur. I say that the agreement is unanimous. Narrative for Independence. Head of Council, I ask you to arise and stand as I read the narrative of independence, because it is the nature of the people of Ireland to be a free nation, because the people of Ireland have never ceased in 700 years from rejecting the tyranny of the English to refute it in full force of arms. Because there is no foundation and never have been any foundation to English law in this country except through the violence and fraud, the First Amendment of the Irish Constitution, by the way, supported only by the possession of an armed force in spite of a true will of the people of Ireland. Because Liberating Army of the Irish Free State of Ireland declared a Free State of Ireland in Dublin during Easter week 1916 on behalf of the people of Ireland, and because the people of Ireland are conformed in achieving and defending full independence for themselves with the intention of advancing the good of the people, of re-establishing justice, assuring for themselves peace in Ireland and friendship with other nations, creating a national identity which will have the will of the people as its foundation. And because, and it did have the will of the people and its foundation in this year, so it did. It did have the will of the people via that, whenever we give ourselves a written constitution, and then the people brought it into full force of law via that in 1937. Look, people, you have all that there in the Declaration of Independence and all down here, okay? Right? So, I'm going to try and sort this out, and you can all then, and I'll let you read it. There it is, people. You can pause that there and do whatever you need to do. And I'm going to move on again here. And again, you can pause that there and I'll move on here. And again, I'll pause that and I'll move on again. And there it is, right up to a message from Dáil Éireann to the free nations of the world. A message from Dáil Éireann to the free nations of the world. And it finishes with that, people. Okay? And that was the founding document there of the state. Alright, which led to that. 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 And then, in 1942, they gave us 50 articles and removed articles 51 to 63 conclusively. Okay? And it says in there, you can read that. This text of the Constitution is a copy of the text prepared in accordance with Article 25 and enrolled in the office of the Registrar of the Supreme Court on the 25th day of March 1942. The transitionary provisions, Articles 51 to 63 inclusive, continue to have the force of law and are however omitted from the official text in accordance with the terms of Articles 51 and 52. The text embodies all amendments made by the Oireachtas prior to the date of the enrolment. Right? There is the First Amendment, 2nd of September 1939. Second Amendment was tidying up the articles, 30th of May 1941. And then on the 25th day of March 1942, they brought out that, which is not that. That's a de facto constitution, right? That is a de facto constitution and under the Crown. If you look down at the Royal Standard, which you seen over the Queen whenever she was getting buried on the left-hand corner, there's blue, okay? I'll show you exactly what it is. What's the Royal Standard? That's the Royal Standard there, people. You look at the Royal Standard flag, okay? There's four parts to it, and down in the bottom left-hand corner, that's on it there. That's under the Crown, people, okay? That's under the Crown establishment, and that's not. That's what's known as a de jure national written constitution of Eire. Primary law of and belonging to Eire. That's what that says. Not Constitution of Ireland. Alright? So, people, look, the IRB and whatever they're at, I don't know, but it's laughable. You know, the Attorney General's laughing at them now and everybody else, but I want to thank them because they cleared up a lot of facts by getting that response there from the Attorney General. They cleared up a lot of facts, and the Attorney General has now actually says that the 1937 is the rule of law. And as you see, people, look, see that? That's that book there. That's not the Constitution, right? That's not the Constitution. And look, 1st of July 1937, 29th of December 1937, to replace the Irish Free State, which was that there, right? But that is not the Constitution. That's why I highlighted it round there with the orange round it. That is not the Constitution. You see, if you look at something long enough, if you look at an apple long enough and somebody called it a banana and you didn't know what a banana was and they kept calling it a banana for, say, 83 years, you would call an apple a banana. You would call an apple a banana. That's the Constitution there, people of this state. That is the written national constitution, written by and given to ourselves, adopted, enacted and given to ourselves. This Constitution. So, go me and me all people, and I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry it went on nearly 5 minutes there, but it should clear up who the IRB is. They've no jurisdictional authority and they can't realise what the actual Attorney General is actually saying to them. Because if I was them, I would be worried about what the Attorney General is saying there. Because he's actually told them if they don't decease in what they're doing, they're committing crime. So they are. They're committing crime by doing what they're doing. And I'll just put this up here. This here was... There was a draft constitution of that there, okay, and Sinn Féin, as a member of the government back in the time, got a copy of it too, and they adopted it. So That's it there, what they adopted, right? And it says on it, Sinn Féin 1937, okay, in Clogillock, by the way, right? Constitution, translation, right? This here was the translation, all right, which was written in that there. Whereas the people of Ireland never relinquished the claim to separate nationhood, and whereas the provisional government of the Irish Republic, Easter 1916, in the name of the Irish people and continuing to fight by previous generations, reasserted the inalienable right of the Irish nation to sovereign independence and reaffirmed the determination of the Irish people to achieve it. Whereas the proclamation of the Irish Republic 1916 and the supreme courage of the glorious sacrifices of the men who give their lives to maintain it unite the people of Ireland under the flag of the Irish Republic, which is green, white and orange. Whereas on the 21st of January 1919, following the general election of December 1918, the duly elected representative of the Irish people assembled in the National Parliament proclaimed their independence of Ireland and ratified the establishment of the Irish Republic proclaimed in 1916, thus founding the Republic on the democratic basis of a free vote of the people Ireland with Dáil Éireann as its government. B. Resolved that we, the delegate representatives of the Irish People Convention assembled here, declare the following to be the Constitution of Sinn Féin. That there. That is the Constitution. They declared it here. In the name of the organisation shall be Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin aims reoccurring or securing international recognition of Ireland as an independent Irish Republic, having achieved the status of the Irish people, may, by referendum, freely choose their own form of government. That's Article 1. And Article 6. Or 3. This object shall be obtained through the Sinn Féin organisation, which shall, in the name of the sovereign Irish people, A. Deny the right to oppose the will of the British Parliament and British Crown or any other foreign government to legislate in Ireland. Well, Sinn Féin has sold us out up in the north, and they signed up till the removing Articles 2 and 3 from the Blue Book, or you know what I mean, which is, pending the reintegration of the national territory. And here they are now coming cap in hand looking at a border referendum. You know what I mean? There is no border in this country, people. There it is there. There it is there. There is no border. That is the most important document the state can issue. There's no border there, people. The name of the state's IRA. It gives individual allegiance to and entire support to Dáil Éireann and the duly elected Parliament of Ireland in the exercise of all legitimate functions and in all the steps legitimately taken in public order to provide the national defence, to secure government and to promote the general welfare of the whole people of Ireland. People, if you want, you can go on there, www.bunrock1937.ie, and you can download yourself a copy of that, okay? For free, all right? And you can actually go through, and it's a very well done website that we put a lot of time and effort in, and everything in it is facts. Everything in it is facts. They're all taken from lawful books and everything, you know what I mean? Well researched. So enjoy yourselves. Bunrock1937.ie. Forget about the IRB, RIP IRB.